So I am just going to have to get started. I am going to pick out a tier 4 battle. We haven't done a lot of low tier, and to me low tier is a lot of fun. You can kind of screw around, you can make mistakes, the enemy doesn't punish you as much, yada yada yada. So we're going to go into the the Wyoming, and we're going to take a look at that. Let's wait for it to load up, all that good stuff. Hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday. Okay. So this is AOT Jaeger 2. He sent me this replay of the Wyoming. Unfortunately, a couple of the other replays didn't make it through the system. So let's take a look at that. We'll turn off that thing now, and away we go. Hey Dragon, how's it going? Hello Sea Bear. Gonna slow things down just a little bit to take my screenshots. Now this is the tier 4 battleship of fun. I really enjoy this ship quite a bit. It's still a lot of fun to play, and I don't know that it has that many real weaknesses. Nice Dragon, thanks for following me, or thinking you're following me. It's all good, man. And Sea Bear, how's it going? Alright, so what is so fun about this ship is that it's like a freaking shotgun, right? You've got your 6 turrets of fun, 12 total guns. Butt gun is plugged up. Anyway, and so, you know, dispersion, of course, not the greatest. American dispersion is hilarious, but it doesn't need to be tight and spot on. This is a great ship for learning a lot of the mechanics of the game. It's got a pretty decent secondary barrage, however the upgraded hull gets rid of some of the secondaries, but it replaces that with a lot of things like our little Chicago piano here, and dual purpose 5-inchers and stuff like that. So basically we get an awful lot more anti-air capability in the Wyoming. This is probably the highest rated anti-air for tier 4 battleships. So what's nice about that is in situations where you're in a carrier battle like this one, you don't have to worry so much about aircraft. So that's kind of fun. It's slow with 21 knots. It's all right. It kind of lumbers along. Armor scheme is kind of decent. It can get penetrated through the bow with Miyogi and Congo. So you have to watch out for those Japanese shells. New York, I think, can penetrate through the bow too. So angling is something you learn quite a bit in this ship. How'd you like to be this poor sucker that's stuck at this point here looking at? I mean, wow, that's got to be a little scary up there on the crane tower, huh? So anyway, AOT flags. You don't want to detonate. That's interesting. You're also running the flooding reduction time. You're running the equal speed Charlie London for XP. Papa for free XP. We've got the repair booster, reduction in fire time, commander XP, and credit flags. And on top of that, you're using the 100% XP camo. I'm assuming you're grinding this ship. Even then, personally, this is a personal thing, you've heard this several times, I'm sure, I wouldn't waste the flags and camo at tier 4. To me, flags and camo oftentimes feels like a crutch for a lot of players, and yes, it gives you a marginal bonus in multiple different areas, but let's face it, it's tier 4. Just go out, have fun, screw things up, you know, and I like the new wave, and you know, just enjoy the game and learn the mechanics. And if you can't dominate the game with no flags and naked camo tier 4, then that should be a sign that it's time to practice, get good, as some would say, and work up from there. So, all right, so let's take a look at the Battle, how it ensues. This, gotta bring up the mini map a little bit here. Let's see if I could turn on a range, because that'll be useful in this and secondaries. Yeah. Alright. Oh, hello, Mr. Sorrow. How are you doing? And welcome. So, Dragon says, me too. It's a good ship. Took her the other day out. Confederate high caliber Kraken felt a little dirty. Yeah, this ship will make you feel dirty. So, Jaeger, we've seen him before in his cruisers. He's very aggressive with his playstyle, which is kind of fun. Makes for a good, interesting first salvo. Sorrow, I'm doing well. Looking forward to getting these replays in. I think I've got all the way through the 19th of March recorded, so I'm hoping to get through, really through April 1st, if not past that, either today or maybe in conjunction with next weekend. I'm going to be out of the country for a couple of weeks coming up at the end of March, and so I want to get to the point where I've got some consistent replays coming out. It's kind of fun having the ability with YouTube to pre-designate when I'm going to release videos. So anyway, I do like, probably saw there he was firing one at a time, and that's kind of a nice way to gauge your shots and see what's going on, making sure that you can correct for distance, for speed, for angle, all that kind of stuff. Now, there is one big problem with doing that. And the problem with doing that is by the time your last gun has shot, the enemy pretty much knows that you're shooting at him or her and is already starting to make adjustments. So, personally, what I've started to do when I'm in this situation is I actually don't single fire my shots. I double click, give full broadsides and that sort of thing. Ooh, I would also probably double click the minimap and let this Langley guy know that he's about to get sniped. Look at that. Is he seriously flooding? Is he seriously flooding? Oh my god, you guys have already lost 2 other ships. Wow. Hey Coco Mango, how's it going, man? You're coming to observe the scrolling, huh? Well, we'll see if there's scrolling or not. Repair party usage, maybe a little bit early. I would probably hold on to the repair party. That's what makes these ships, this class of ships, so useful, is the heal, and using them too soon can be a problem. That being said, you are running the premium version, so that's useful. I kind of wish you would have pushed around the corner. Look at the Hosho right there, man. You've got a beautiful chance to nail that Hosho as you take shots from everything. And there goes the Langley. Oh my god. Yes, that is the beauty of low tiers. Anything can and will happen, like the team just getting wampa stomped. You can see that enemy Hosho knows what he's doing. He's parked himself by the island there, with so many ships gone. And probably by this point the Wix is spotted. I'm sure the Clemson's been spotted up north. So the Hosho pretty much doesn't have anything to worry about in terms of destroyers rushing him. Now most of the enemy team looks like they're going south, or at least a lot of them are. So I like the idea of kind of turning away, I guess, at this point. There's no point in getting yourself wrecked. You're being targeted by 3 ships, so you've got your predator target skill, which is, it's a pretty useful skill to have in cruisers, battleships, sometimes even destroyers too. Hey, you guys got a kill. Now this guy's backing up. You should be targeting over here. Look at yourselves. See, nowhere. You got to look at the smoke. You have to read what the ship is doing. That's a big difference between cruisers and battleships. Is with cruisers you can afford to make your shots and screw up and then try again and screw up and try again, and by that 3rd salvo you'll be hitting on target. The problem with battleships is your 3rd salvo takes so long. That's a minute and a half that you pretty much have to wait for. Good use of your repair party there. I agree with your usage. And are you gonna go for the... I would go for the St. Louis. I'd go for the St. Louis. He's broadside to you. He's being a little cheeky, but you're waiting for the Wyoming to come around, and you're going to unleash hate. That's fair. Not too bad of a hit. 8K. Take it. And look at that American dispersion saying, Durr. Now, I do like the fact what you're doing here, going back. If this Wix pushes through and goes into the cap, you are the only person that can defend the cap. So this is good that you're going back this way. Okay, now you're starting to shoot the St. Louis. Makes sense. Nobody else to shoot at. And look at that. See, that's why you shoot the St. Louis. That's probably going to cause him to react. He's going to have to turn around or slow down or speed up or something and start panicking, which is good. Ooh, here comes the aggression. That Wix has now been spotted on the south side, so we know that nobody's going north. The St. Louis is over there to block the access to the channel. So now you're free to go back south again and some more fishing. Now you'll also see the other negative of battleships compared to the cruisers I've seen you play so far is that the turrets take forever to turn. So you have to really time out your positioning and think about think about how you're gonna present yourself to the enemy. You want to minimize the switching of your turrets as much as possible, because you'll get punished hard for that. This is now the second time that you've swapped your turret direction, and as you can see, that takes your guns out of the fight for a good amount of time. Those of you watching, how's the stream so far? Audio working out okay? I had to turn down the volume earlier, and I think I've got it set now. So, hey, Puddin'! And yes, St. Louis did speed up because, well, you know, Mr. AOT Yeager just kind of lol citadel'd him for a sec there. It took off like, what was it, 13k damage? So yeah, you know, when I that's just a natural reaction, right? That Wyoming is still reversing. Oh my god, look at this, he's still reversing. All right, take the shot and turn in. You got to turn in much more than that. But look at this Hosho here. Control click your squadron there. I would even double click the screen to let your teammates know, hey, something's not working right there. Thanks for the feedback to know that sound was working great, guys. It's good to hear. I'm currently using my my super noise canceling headphones, so everything sounds fine to me, but you never know. Northern group is, oh, look at that dispersion. And here comes this torpedo bombers. Did they drop on the terrain? I don't think they did. I think he's just sitting there waiting for his opportunity. He's probably waiting for somebody to have to DCP, probably the Wix, causing a torpedo strike on AOT here. That's what I'm thinking is happening. We'll see. Oh no, don't turn like that. Don't turn like that. Yeah, you're gonna get punished hard for that kind of turn. And if you're gonna turn that, put your guns here. Look this way as you turn. You want them to start turning at maximum speed. You're kind of doing that now. Oh, Wix went back up north again. Hopefully the St. Louis will take him out. And this Wyoming that's way down south is showing you a broadside, so you can take advantage of that as the other Wyoming is kind of doing stuff. 10, 11k hit, not bad. But you're gonna, oh, American dispersion. AOT, no pressure, man, but you've got 11 people that are watching you play this ship right now. Even though it's a replay, no pressure. There we go. Wix dies to St. Louis. How much you want to bet he'll kill the St. Louis with torpedoes? Nope. Kawachi gets his secondary kill. And here you go again. Now you're changing your turrets again. I wouldn't be doing this, man. You can't afford to do this. You have to. I would have turned left, and I would have kept on going and working this way. Seriously, because by doing this, you are leaving the Turen to be basically ganged up on. And there's nobody really that you're going to intercept, right? The Kawachi is here. The St. Louis is playing goalie. And the Wix is moving his way up. Maybe the Wix will find somebody to kill him. But you got to keep the pressure on. I think it's interesting. You're playing this ship so much more passively. Oh, hello. And my cat decided he wants on my lap. You're playing this so much more passively than you've played your cruisers before. So I find that really interesting. You've got the heal ability to recover from major damage, yet you're not willing to risk that kind of damage. Except if you're playing a ship that doesn't have the heal and just paper. So I think that's kind of interesting, the way that you're doing it. Now you're starting to settle in. Okay, see, this is what you should have been doing before. You should be here at this point. Why? Because that Wyoming can't angle to both you and the Turen, and so you end up with 2 angles of fire on him. Unfortunately, you taking the time that you're taking now to get in position. This guy's reversing too. The time it's taking you to get in position means that this guy, this Wyoming, is now angling to the Turen. Not a bad hit. And this Turen needs to slow down because he is too far in front now. Judging by where those torpedo bombers are coming... Oh, there's the Hosho, never mind. So the Hosho went for the Miyogi then. I mean, I guess that makes sense because you've got really good anti-air, but I would have thought he'd go after the Turen. He's probably thinking that 2 Wyomings can handle this Turen and you, but doesn't look like it, does it? Now be careful here. It's very easy to be tempted to want to turn into the island to get your shots off. But if you do that, then you beach and you're going to be really delayed in getting back into the action. Your Turen is going to go down, and then you're going to be basically forced to do something. And see, you're going for that turn there, but you got to be careful because... Oh, okay, good. You can get back out. Nice hit. So one more salvo should do it. Maybe the Turen will get him. Turen is incredibly low. Like I said, he needs to be slowing down. You need to be getting up here and getting in the fight. I like how the St. Louis is escorting the Miyogi. That's really good considering there's an Isokaze up to the north there. And here's the problem. Here's what I was just talking about. You're about to get yourself beached. And that's you're probably going to make it actually. Good. All right. It's a big risk to take to get 1 or 2 more guns on your target. In a very competitive environment, that can really cause some problems. Here come the torpedo bombers. You should know that this is coming, and this is another reason why you have to be very, very careful not to beat yourself. Because if you beat yourself, you're basically painting yourself into a corner right now. You did a lot of damage, that's exciting, but look, you're about to beach, and here come the torpedo bombers. And Putin is actually absolutely correct. You're also losing an awful lot of speed doing this maneuvering. It makes it a lot easier for the Hosho to torp you. But keep in mind, he can only do automatic drops at tier 4, but if you're moving slow like this, and the way they've changed the automatic drops, it's much harder to dodge. But look at this. I'm rather impressed. Also, that Hosho really screwed up that drop. High caliber. Alright, well, you're gonna let that burn for a bit. You've got one more heal available. Yay, American dispersion. He's also turning in. Interesting, we haven't seen or heard from the Isokaze in a really long time. Hey, what's up, SAT score? Hosho spreads are too big. If it was Langley, it could have been in trouble. Absolutely correct, yeah. The Langley's torpedo bombers are much tighter drop pattern with the 6 torpedo bombers, so I do agree. Yeah, he's trying to cross the T. Who cares? Oh, no, there's the Isokaze. You have to react to him immediately. He is now the priority target. If I were you... Yeah, I think you're doing it right. Here comes the torp bombers. You're going to get yourself focused really hard now. The Isokaze has sent torpedoes your way. It's almost guaranteed. So get your guns off on this guy. Come on, hurry up. Shoot. Shoot her! Shoot her! Never mind. See, you had the opportunity there. You had all the guns locked on. You could have double-clicked and just fired a broadside, and then continued to move. I hope you're control-clicking on the squadron here, because that will help. Surprisingly, you haven't shot down a single aircraft yet, so I'm wondering if you are doing that or not. Now, Isokaze's got really fast torpedo reloads, so this is very dangerous. You are now putting yourself at extreme risk, really, to both of these ships, although this guy's using HE and probably going for the ram now. Okay, no need to zoom in that much when they're trying to go for a ram. There you go. Stay but, and it's too late. You let him ram you. Well, rip you. What I would have done in that situation: shoot all your guns out at the bow of this Wyoming, and then keep turning around, kind of like where that St. Louis is. You want to get to that St. Louis. He is going to save you from the destroyer. So we'll have to see what happens as a result of that decision. But yeah, if you would have gone back into the island here, the Isokaze couldn't torp you. This guy couldn't ram you. And basically then it just comes down to whether or not the torpedoes will hit you. Now it's very interesting. You've done a good amount of damage. You got yourself a high caliber. Ironically enough, I've said before with your cruiser play that I'd like to see more passive play, and I think in battleship play I'd like to see you play a little bit more aggressive. Be more confident, and don't be afraid to jump in there. So, and yes, SAT score is absolutely correct. Not dodging that second torpedo squadron might have been better because it would have put you in a position to get out. So, problem is now, like Saru was saying, you're kind of stuck hoping that your teammates aren't gonna die. And that's kind of a big hope here. Now you're also not looking around. I think you might be. Okay. There you go. I was gonna say you're not really checking to see what's going on. As this St. Louis backs up and tries desperately to survive. What are you looking at, sir? There we go. Yeah, this is really bad for the St. Louis. He's gonna take one. Probably cause the flooding, and then here comes the second batch. This is the problem when you're at low tiers and you're dependent on other people. Oh, time's out, and the other strike didn't land. So there we go. Nice execution, I suppose, of that St. Louis, of not dying. So that's good. So thanks for sending in that replay. I hope I can give you some good feedback there. And let me take a look and see, do I need a Wyoming? I don't think I need a Wyoming for wiki stuff, so that's gonna go into my dead pile. All right, those of you in